We shift our focus to India's advancing ties with China. After years of standoff over border issues, the two Asian powers are now looking at an upward trend in ties. This, however, has triggered another broader row between India and the Himalayan kingdom of Nepal. Now, earlier this week, Chinese President Xi Jinping sent his top diplomat, Foreign Minister Wang Yi, to New Delhi. After Wang Yi's meeting with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, New Delhi and Beijing decided to boost border trade, step up investment flows, and to resume direct flights. India and China agreed to reopen trade at 3 points. One of them is the Lipulekh Pass, but Nepal, neighbor to both India and China, has objected to this. Citing its map and historical treaties, Nepal's foreign ministry said that Lipulekh lies within its territory and is an inseparable part of the country. India immediately rejected Nepal's opposition to the resumption of trade with China through the Lipulekh Pass. New Delhi has called Kathmandu's claims unjustified and not supported by historical facts, adding that any unilateral artificial enlargement of territorial claims is untenable. India said its position was consistent and clear. In a statement, India's Ministry of External Affairs said that border trade between India and China through Lipulekh Pass had commenced in 1954 and has been ongoing for decades. India also said it is open to constructive interaction with Nepal on resolving agreed outstanding boundary issues through dialogue and diplomacy. The dispute over Lipulekh intensified in 2015 when India and China agreed to expand trade. Nepal objected back then too. It escalated further in 2020 when India inaugurated a new road connecting Uttarakhand to Lipulekh, substantially reducing travel time for Kailash Mansarovar pilgrims. And the same year, Nepal also updated its political map and amended its constitution to incorporate 3 strategically important areas, including Lipulekh. Since then, the issue has remained a sensitive one between India and Nepal. Perched at 17,000 feet in the Himalayas, the Lipulekh Pass lies at the trijunction of India, Nepal and Tibet. The narrow corridor may look like a remote border crossing, but it sits at the heart of a decades-old territorial dispute. And here's why. For India, the Lipulekh Pass is a strategic military corridor that allows faster movement of troops and supplies to its frontier with China. It is also a pilgrimage route to Tibet. It connects India's Kumaon region in Uttarakhand with Tibet's Taklakot, which is the shortest route for the annual Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, a pilgrimage of deep religious significance for Hindus, Buddhists and Jains. Now, Nepal claims its sovereignty over the areas of Lipulekh, Kalapani and Limpiadura, citing old maps and administrative records from the 19th century. Kathmandu says that these regions belonged to Nepal until they were ceded to the British East India Company after the Anglo-Nepalese War. Now, according to Nepal's interpretation of the 1816 Sugaluri Treaty between the British and the Kingdom, all lands east of the Kali River belong to Nepal. Since it is at a trijunction, Lipulekh is also important to China. It opens a key trade route for Beijing to South Asia. However, China so far has treated Lipulekh largely as a bilateral matter between India and itself, avoiding direct involvement in Nepal's claims. Resolving this dispute will require New Delhi to restart boundary talks with Nepal, which have stalled since 2020. Though India-China trade through Lipulekh is likely to continue, Nepal's objections, if not resolved, could remain a point of friction. How the 3 Asian neighbors manage this narrow Himalayan pass could shape geopolitics of the region for decades to come.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão euro mo.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.